Quake on the Droid, Western Digital gets in on the SSD market, and more coming up on Hot Hardware with Dave Altavilla and Marco Chiappetta.
Times are tough, so save time and money by skipping business trips and using GoToMeeting. Visit gotomeeting.com/techpodcast and get 30 days for free.
AMD has a new chipset, the AMD 890 GX. Marco, you seem excited by this new chipset. Could you try to explain what's the big deal with this, and what will this be able to do that sets it apart?
Sure. Well, I'm not overly excited. It's not a game changer or anything like that. But it's the first chipset that AMD has officially declared is ready for Phenom 2 X6 6-core processors, so that's pretty exciting. It's also got the highest performing integrated graphics core of any chipset. The Radeon HD 4290 within the chipset performs relatively well for an IGP. It's also got a brand new South Bridge, the SB850. That's the first to natively support SATA 3 or SATA 6G connections. AMD's actually pulled a few firsts with this chipset.
Okay, so I'm going to switch gears here. Western Digital is doing something crazy. The hard drive maker has finally gotten into the SSD business. Dave, what do you think about this move, and how does the actual product perform?
Yeah, it's actually a pretty bold move for Western Digital, historically known as a standard spinning media manufacturer, hard drive manufacturer for many years, one of the biggest names in the industry, obviously. And kind of the writing was on the wall with solid state storage and the actual the absolute explosion that the technology's had in the marketplace over the past year. And it's obvious that eventually we're all going to be running off of solid state storage systems. Certainly the data center perhaps would be the last frontier where bulk storage and the cost effectiveness of spinning hard drives is absolutely critical. But for the client and desktop and workstation markets, that can afford a little bit higher price tag, solid state is doable there. And Western Digital has seen that and has dipped their toe in the arena.
How is the performance for the price? I mean, is it in line with the rest of the SSDs out there, or does it seem like the last generation? Where does this stand?
Yeah, well, SSDs in general certainly are still, price prohibitive for the average mainstream end user. You're not going to see Dell, default configuring these things into their builds, right out of the gate here. But eventually we'll get there as the technology drives down the cost curve. But for Western Digital, the performance is decent, about 250 meg per second reads and 170 megabytes per second write, which is, kind of middle of the road. It's, middle upper range, I would say, in performance. But their price is a little bit out of line right now. $1,000 for a 256 gig drive. And I want to say, was it $499 for a 128 gig drive? So they're a little bit out of line out of the gate. And we're hoping that they can sharpen that pencil to compete with some of the other SSD guys in the market.
That sounds crazy expensive. Hey, Marco, I was on HotHardware.com and I saw something really awesome. It was the ATI Eyefinity 6 edition. First, can you explain to the viewers what that is? And then, how are you liking this thing?
Geek porn.
Sure. Exactly. So it's basically all of AMD's high-end graphics cards, like the Radeon HD 5870. The GPUs are capable of outputting 6 independent displays. So they're coming out with a version of the 5870 that's got 2 gigs of RAM on it and 6 DisplayPort outputs. And you're able to connect 6 independent displays, but run them as a single large surface. So you end up with these insanely high resolutions, this big wall of monitors, and you could game on it. You can use it for productivity. It's just like a big giant screen. It's really, really nuts. It's one of those crazy things that we get to play with doing what we do at Hot Hardware.
What was the resolution you were running on those 6 screens? Because you said they're not just like stretching out one 1920 by 1080 image. It's actually, right. I think each monitor is showing. It was QVGA, WVGA. What's the resolution per monitor?
Well, the resolution per monitor is 1080p. It's 1920 by 1080. It's 6 22-inch monitors arranged in a 3x2 configuration. The overall total resolution is 5760 by 2160. So way beyond anything HD. Just
That's
super,
insane.
super high. It's equivalent to 3 30-inchers, but you could actually hook up 6 30-inch monitors if you wanted to.
And this can support that?
Crazy. Yeah, it can do it.
That's really impressive. From gaming on the big screen or big screens to gaming on the little screen, Quake 2 and 3 are now on the Motorola Droid. Dave, are you going to replace your gaming rig with the Droid?
No, that's not going to happen anytime soon. And actually, let's take a quick step back. Hey, Marco, we got one little caveat that we want to ask the LCD manufacturers in the marketplace, right? With these multiple panel setups that would just perfect the experience. Thin bezels, people. We need thin bezels, right, Marco?
I totally agree, 100%.
Yeah, seeing the video, it looked a bit like you were looking through a bay window. They had these big pillars on the sides, but I mean, at least the bezels are getting a lot smaller. It's not like the old days where, you ever tried to do this with a CRT? Not exactly very easy to physically do it, let alone the bezels on those were gigantic.
Right. We were at CES and LG had a bunch of big TVs with no bezel that looked awesome when they were all scaled together in this big wall of displays. And so the technology's coming, you know, somebody's done it, LG's done it, and we're hoping that others can do it as well. But yeah, moving forward into our next discussion here, the Quake 2 and 3 on the Motorola Droid to the little screen, the 5 or 7 inch jobby or smaller. Yeah, pretty impressive. There was this end user out there, I'm trying to think of the name of the blog that this kid put it together. Not a kid, a guy. He was Android and Me is the name of the site. You might want to go check them out. But yeah, he was able to port Quake 2 and 3 to the Motorola Droid. And, you know, pretty impressive. You know, this is technology, 3D technology that, I don't know, maybe 5 years ago or so, well, you know, it took a pretty powerful graphics card to run and run fluidly. And now it's running on a handset.
So do you guys, you're getting this brainstorm like I am, taking a bunch of droids, combining them together kind of in an Eyefinity kind of style, and playing one giant game of Quake. Yes, Droidfinity. What do you think? Should we do it?
I think it sounds pretty ghetto there, big guy.
Hey, wait a minute. Ghetto, I don't know about that. I think, actually, these are expensive computing machines. Don't forget that. Anyway.
No, it's definitely an interesting technology to see the technology running on a handset for sure. And I think it sort of speaks to the industry trend we're seeing with more powerful, more capable handsets, tablets. I think personalized computing is coming to the market more and more, and it's exciting. I mean, one of the things you're seeing at HotHardware.com is, you know, an expansion of our scope and our focus and coverage from not only desktop computing, which is, you know, kind of our core and where our, you know, our heart is and started, where our passion is, but to personalized computing on the go, and to see, you know, Droid running Quake 2 and 3, I mean, that's just cool stuff, and we want to see more of it.
Well, let's say you didn't want to do computing on the go. Let's say you want to sit at home with an awesome gaming rig, but you're broke. You know, Marco, I think there's a way for the viewers to do that, isn't there? I think there's a giveaway at Hot Hardware.
Wouldn't you know?
Yes, absolutely. We continue to show the love for the next couple of weeks. We are giving away a CyberPower PC gaming rig. All you got to do is come by the site, make some comments in our news or in our forum, and you're automatically entered. You got a shot to win a Core i7 based machine with a Radeon HD 5870 and a Kingston SSD. Really, really nice system.
Now, people can't win by calling in like they just tried to do right now. They have to go it's through the forums, I think. All the information's at hothardware.com. And I guess that's it for this edition of Hot Hardware on TechVi. Marco, Dave, thanks for all the information. You can find everything we talked about at hothardware.com. Lots of videos there, too. I'm Ayaz Akhtar, and we'll see you later.